Hello. How's everybody doing? It's time for another Saturday live stream. I'm your tour guide, John Skippy Lincool. Hands together, head bowed. Welcome to all of you. Let me see if I've got somebody actually showing up in the chat. YouTube. Here, go live. I know it's summertime. Are you guys all on vacation? Oh my gosh. Welcome. Good to see you all. Let's see. Floating Lotus, The Alchemist Records. Tom. Hello, welcome. Yives. Frankenmeiser. Shane, of course. Hands together. Shout out to Shane. Yay, Shane, my friend. Kiska. Or Kisaka. Kisaka. I think you're in Japan, right? Tim in the UK. Misha. Thank you all. Greetings. Welcome. I hope you all are doing well. These are some of the new patches we made last Monday. And a few I made through the week. If I go up here to the tags and I choose the tasty bonus, there's actually more than this, but this is the ones I've tagged so far with the bonus. And we started with this really nice MIDI file that I made. Actually, it came from a percussa. That's right. We dragged over MIDI files from Omnisphere to the desktop to get MIDI files from their Arpeggiator that were made for the percussa rhythm library that I did. And then I loaded those into Unify. And we went from this to, was it topography? Right? We did Time in a Bottle. That was one that had a cool pulse. So this is, by the way, this is a library that came out a week or so ago called Patchmaster Pro 1. It is still available at the website. Let's see here. Let me go over to PlugInGuru.com. This video is sponsored by my humble website, which, by the way, we have a little summer sale we started. 35% off store-wide. Unify and bundles and stuff are not included, but if you go to the product list, click products, like 90-some different libraries are all there listed with their little sale prices that are going on until July 1st. It's hot here in Portland. I've got my air conditioner running, but thanks to Bruce Free from Clevgrand, I got to show that and give them a little mad props because we're actually going to show another plugin today from them that they've released. Here's without this. That's the air conditioner behind me running. But because of this, I could actually take it all the way out if I wanted to, but it does just a little bit of weird stuff to my voice, so I keep it somewhere around there. I'll be quiet and have the ear listen one more time. There. So it can do a profile of the room noise, pickup noise. If you have a synthesizer that's got a ground, if you've got a guitar that has ground, you can use Bruce Free, listen, have it listen to the ground noise from your guitar, and now you have real-time input into your sequencer without ground noise. So it's pretty cool what it can do, and saves me in cases like this. If I didn't have this, I'd be talking over the top of an air conditioner the whole time, and it'd be like, what's that synth with noise in the background? But because of this, I can talk there's not a noticeable amount of latency change from what I can tell. There's a little bit of latency just in the audio, just the way it is. But it's wonderful. Just got an M1 Mac Mini and was wondering what you thought of the current state of Apple Silicon. I think it's great. They have found a cool solution to the, you know, how to get faster computer speeds. They've found a solution that doesn't require more power. Other companies were going for just brute force power, and that goes to a certain point, but it gets hot, takes more power from the economy, from our environment, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's great. They're up on their security, which is making us having to work hard for updates and things like that. But that's just in their OS to try to, you know, hackers are getting smarter, so they have to keep bringing up their security levels and stuff like that. I think it's great. Now Intel has created ARM computers and a developing system that they've released for people to develop. They see ARM as the future too, it looks like. So Apple kind of surprised everybody and started in a, you know, I mean, when you have as many engineers as Apple has on staff, they better make some really cool cutting edge future things like this, right? I mean, it's crazy. They are just, they're doing good things. I'm really happy with Apple. So no complaints. I want to get silicone myself. I just can't afford it right now. So at some point, I hope to add silicone myself to my setup here to get the computer to be up to date with the current OS, but not yet. So yeah, it's really good. I have a number of cool things to show you guys today. We had a rather cool synthesizer released earlier this week that really is a next generation, in a way, instrument. It's not trying to recreate as accurately as possible when modeling things. It's using granular synthesis, and I'll show you that. But anyway, I just wanted to finish this. This is sponsored by my website. I probably closed the window to PlugInGuru, didn't I? Yeah, PlugInGuru. But I just want to point out, this is sponsored by my website, PlugInGuru.com. And if you go right here and click Patchmaster Pro, that can take you to this new library that's available for $34. Its retail price will be $49. It's 97 patches. There's 25 core instruments that I actually sampled from. Let's see, I was going to hopefully get this working. Let's see if this is working. If I hit. Oh, it's not working. Let's see here. We'll see if this comes on. If it stays on. Maybe not. I have a top-down camera, and it's supposed to be up and running, but yeah, it's not running. That sits off. Huh. Okay, well, okay, yeah. The battery has to be at a certain, I don't like how GoPros, I'm going to sell those and get something more reliable, because the battery has to be at a certain percentage for it to work off power from a cable. It's idiotic, stupid. Anyway, on that positive, happy note, let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's see. Hope you guys had a good week. It's 97, like yesterday it was 80, the day before it was 70, before that it was high 60s. Today it's 90 something supposed to be, and tomorrow 97. So yeah, makes sense to have a summer sale because it's hot here. And Taylor is here. Shout out to Taylor. Thank you, Taylor, for putting up a note. Yeah, if you guys have any questions with software, libraries, we're here to help. So join us and send us a note if you need any help. All right, let me show you. So this is a cool library that I released a week and a half ago called Patchmaster Pro. It's analog synthesizers. Let's see if I go back here and turn off this so that everything is here. We're up to 111 patches. I'm going to release an update on July 1st with 128 patches in the library. So I have 17 more to make. I will do Monday night, another live stream, synthesizer programming live stream. I did one a week ago. It was really fun. We made some really, really cool patches. All these Z patches are the bonus patches that are very fun to play, came out nice, have good analog. Oh, you know what? Let me just hit the refresh button because I moved some things over, but. Oh, and I'm also not on the track to play it, so. I just love the vibe of it. It's very analog-y. Some of these, like the 90s. Oh, now we have doubles. Okay, what's going on here? Revealing the Finder. Oh, this is going to be the thing where I need to go up to. Oh, okay, so this is what happened. So inside of Retrosphere 2, let's see. So I was moving stuff over, and that's not supposed to be there. So there. Rebuild one more time. I was dragging over the main wave version of the library to get ready for the live stream, and I dragged, but it didn't show up. And I was like, oh no. I dragged, and I bet you it went to some other folder, and it did. And again, these are made with the handy dandy Behringer Pro-1. And you've got, when you go up here to the actual patches, you go to something like Razorback Saw, which is this really cool bright sound. It's got 4 times round robin. Here's the patch map to make this on a Pro-1. So it's both a recipe book for the Pro-1 as well as really cool patches. And then taking that to all the bonus patches that take this and then go. So I've already started working on the Monopoly. I know it's Monopoly, but I like to call it Monopoly. But that is, we had really fun on Monday. We made this, which is cool. We actually first made, I think, Perky and Pure. Because I'd use an attack from inside the standard library, and someone's like, music box. I was like, oh, we could get even closer to a music box. And so let's see, what waveform is this? I think it's Blatty Trumpet. Isn't that funny? The Blatty Trumpet sample starts really late. By going later in, maybe give it a little bit. I don't know. I really like the dark character of it. Okay, we'll just keep it the way it is. I'm not going to do an edit here on the spot. But anyway, there's lots of bonus patches, really cool analog patches. We've got really great starting places with the round robins. Even on the saw to go in. I have a video I'm working on Guru Sampler. So that's going to be coming to make so I'm not distracted. Anyway, so this library is available now, and it is really fun, and we'll add more patches. Maybe if there's time at the end of this live stream, as well as Monday night in its own programming crazy time live stream. All right. So let's move on to some of the new stuff I want to show you this week. Any questions really quick? Let me see what's going on in the chat. I was so relaxed. Say monopoly has now been superseded. Yeah. Tim's saying that there's arguments on how to say monopoly, and now we got Behringer added into the equation and so forth. So who makes that Pro-1? So just to clarify, we've got a question from Rob. The Pro-1 is a hardware unit. It's, let's see, I've got it. I'll disconnect it so I can bring it over to show you. It's a physical analog synthesizer made by Behringer, and it's very nice. They did a very nice job. It has the exact same parameters and pretty much sounds very, very similar to the actual original 40-year-old sequential circuits Pro-1. This is one that you can afford to get right now. A Pro-1 from Dave Smith is about $2,000 if you can find one. Yeah, no, there's no VST, but I have taken and sampled a whole bunch of different patches out of it and put them into a library for Unify. So if you have Unify, you can get this. And what's kind of fun with this is you can own a Pro-1, but it's only monophonic, so you can only play one note. So there's, like down here, I have all these lead patches that are very, you know, Pro-1. But because this is Unify, I could open this up, and instead of being mono legato, I could say polyphonic. And now I can play 64 voices of polyphony with it. I can layer it. I can do all these things that we're doing here, making big stacks. And there's some really, really cool things here in the, I love this one here for the, where's one of the new ones I did? Special Happenings. I made some, just so you know, one thing coming with this library is I made a whole bunch of arpeggiator patterns for Guru Sampler. So there's hand and practice, major, minor, 16th and stuff, so you could do this kind of stuff. Like just take this and open a MIDI box. This is the major cadence. And you see a number at the end. That's to determine whether the duration, because we don't have a duration parameter. So I did it 100%, 50%, and then 10%. There's 10%. Minor. Stuff like this. Cadences, let's take this to 1-to-1 ratio so it's right? All sorts of different things. I like the Hannon one. See if we go Hannon in practice. Here's Hannon practice minor. And then there's major. Let's see. I'm going to clean it, make some more of these, but what's fun is you can layer all these types of arpeggiators to make stuff like this. Play one note and get all these major chord things happening that are really, really kind of fun. So. So it's not just all vintage. We're doing some stuff that's cool for modern dance production stuff. That's what I tried. It didn't work. I responded to your comment, and that's... Oh. Gerhard got banned? I don't know. We shouldn't be banning anybody. Are you talking about on the forums, Gerhard? I don't know where you got banned. I apologize. My website did it automatically or something for some reason. Oh, you have a discussion going right now with Taylor. So, okay. I'll stay out of that one. I'm switching over from PC to Mac as my will I need to purchase Unify for the additional device? No, you won't. Not at all. You have 3 authorizations with Unify. That license number that you received can be used 3 times on 3 separate devices. Our system is a little bit, it's not one of these that we don't police. And so if you use all 3 and you run out, send us an email and we have the ability to reset it back so that you have authorizations again if needed. So no, you won't need to rebuy Unify. It will work on a PC and 2 Macs or 3 PCs or 2 Macs and a PC or whatever. It's up to 3 devices. So, and if you have special needs, contact us and we can look at what we can do to help you out there as well. So, no, we try to work with you guys. We want to work with you. So, anyway, so please check out Patchmaster Pro. It's really, really fun. I'm happy with how it's turned out. I really wanted to do more things using this interface of calling it a patch. I'll call it Razorback because I showed that already. Clicking a patch and then having the graphics inside of it like this. Mad appreciation to Taylor and Shane and Matt Chowski that they all helped make this become a reality. So they're very helpful to make that happen. All right, so let me show you something new that is really cool. I'm going to just call it a Master Optimizer Lite. This is a traction, is the distributor, I guess you would call it. But you would find this under Dawsum. They released Abyss. I'll show you a second with Abyss. This is a Granular-esque plugin. They released this 2 or 3 months ago, I believe. A lot of people are saying, oh, you should get it. And it's cool. Now, if you were to see this and then go, there's places they could improve this to make it easier to understand, not the graphics like this and so forth. It's cool that they show you the envelopes and so forth over here. It's kind of confusing to have these being all the modulation sources out like this and stuff. Well, the same developer, Dawsum, kind of did a rework and implemented a much more complex engine into his next product called Novum. And this is a mind-blowing development, let me tell you. The thing right off the bat that makes this really unique is that it's really efficient. So you can double click to call up a pad. Play lots of notes. And if I tried that in Omnisphere or most of the other granular synthesizers I own, my audio, especially when live streaming, would die. And then, let me see if I need to zoom this in a little bit. I can zoom. So watch this. Let's zoom this in just a little bit like this, so you can see this even better. I zoomed too much. Oops. We don't need to see PlugInGuru, do we? We know who we are. So, the thing that alone makes this unique in that it's really playable granular. There's other things that are done granular, but this interface is really cool to show you what's going on. I play one note, and you visually see in the interface right? The other thing that really is truly groundbreaking is each of these dots represent a spectral slice of the sound. And each one of these can actually have, if you turn off the little lock button, if we go over here to the grain size and unlock this, I can go to each one of these and I can change the grain size and any other parameter that I want. Turn this off. And now I'm doing different granular parameters to 6 different layers. Let's turn off the effects so you can hear. Let's take this layer and go to the synth and transpose it, which is crazy. So hear that one component changing in pitch? So all 6 layers could be different pitches. So it's actually 6 synthesizers to make up the one sound that can have different filters. Oh, maybe not. Filtering seems to be global for the sound. But the parameters over here that are lockable, unlockable, they have the ability. We can hit detune off. But when you get to the timbre and the granular, you can change the position jilt and the time jilt for each of 6 different layers. And you can skewer things so it's more attack-oriented in sound. Or smooth-oriented in other sound. Oh, I got this like that. So like, and you see the sound waveform kind of changes as you're changing components of it to show you what's going on. So now each of these granular engines that are all playing have different parameters, which is crazy. Add back in the effects by turning on this effects button. Inside the effects section, there is the ability to add these 6 different effects, including a shimmer. Which is nice. There's a nice reverb. You say, give me a reverb after all of this stuff, and have the reverb be really long with a lot of width and minimal dampening. So for textures, like I like all these settings. So I'm actually going to turn this into a new patch because I'm making a library for this. I like this so much. I haven't done this in a long time, but I was like, okay, this is cool. So let's see. I want to go over here. I'm taking samples from existing libraries, and it has the ability, if you go here to the little hamburger menu, embed samples in patch. And what that does is I can now take samples, drag them over, and they are embedded when I save the patch, even in Unify, which is really, really cool. So let's go over here. I'm going to use, for this, I'm going to use a wind sample from Bells and Winds. Let me see here. It's not that. Let's see. PlugInGuru libraries. Trying to find where I have. Maybe I'll just save this as a work in progress. Let's do this. Let's go save. So the library, because this is also dreaming, so it's called Dream State for Novum. Let's call it work in progress. WIP. My favorite word. I can only have one patch in a library like this working. But let me show you some more stuff. What's really interesting, what I wanted to show you, now that I've saved this, so I can get back to it, is that when you click one of these, it pops up the dots. And you can see that there can be different envelope settings And if you want, you can drag this over to actually exchange all the timbres or the envelopes. So I could take this sound, boom, I've changed the envelopes. And I could take a completely different patch from all of these patches. Let's use Ort Cloud and replace the timbres with this. It's crazy, crazy stuff. So you have the ability to do all sorts. Now the modulation is over here. It's a little bit more simplified, a little bit more visual feedback oriented, which is nice. Let's do this. Let's start from scratch. We'll say init, and I'm going to go down here to these libraries I have right here. I'm going to drag over a Bells and Wind sample from my Mega Magic Bells and Winds. Let's do like maybe, let's do like a pan flute. Pan flute dry, so we can hear what it sounds like just dry. So you click and you drag any wave. I've done AIFF as well. It will decompose it. And it tries to play it back in as accurate as it can. Now, it's not really a sample playback like a normal sampler, of course, because it's already divided it into 6 granular streams. So now I need to do is I can go to the envelope. Here's my loop points. So I could say I only wanted to loop in this point, and I want the loop start to miss the attack. So now it has ping-ponging. There's all sorts of cycling. You can say offset. I could slow it down. I never could figure out the speed thing yet. So. But then go to timbre. This is where it gets really fun because you can change the size of the grains to be smaller. Right? So that's kind of interesting. Change position jilt, and now this one dot starts getting spread throughout the stereo field, and then time jilt. And now you're getting into something really interesting. Right? There's pan position, gain. Even pan jilt can be played with on a per layer basis. So let's have a couple of these doing crazy stuff in stereo. I'm not so sure about the homogenized and what this does to the sound yet, but so once you get past the looping and the timbre controls, you have Synth, which gives you a filter. As we saw earlier, you could turn off transpose, go to each of these sublayers. Now I have a big 3-octave pad. Let's see. Now, as you bring up density, check this out. Here's my CPU meters. As I bring this up, it will definitely start to eat up CPU cycles. But look at how many notes it's just massive. And then when you're doing something like this, it's trying to guess the tune over here on the synth page. I don't think it's correct. So if I go over layer, add an empty instrument, this makes a sine wave synth, which is a great reference to, yeah, it's not there. So go to synth and transpose. Oh, you know what? I need to lock all these. Now I can go back and play with them again. So I don't need my sine wave reference anymore. But on top of this now is what's really fun. Go find something fun to layer with this. Because these motion things, go to like Unify layer. Try some sort of like the violin rain would be really cool. Right? Here, let's keep developing this more into a pad. So I would want, there's a gap in there, right? So let's go to the main ADSR. Now this skew is really interesting in that it will skew more towards the attack. And you can actually hit sync. And now it's in sync. So I could go to Cloud City, to the drums, go to BPM drum. It's in sync. So I kind of like that. That's very usable. So let's see if we can find a way to combine that. Let's take this and make this a pulsing element too. I'm gonna hold down Control and Option. I'm making patches for this library with you guys. So I hope you're all right with that. Let's take this up an octave. I don't want a slow attack. Let's see, let's go to notes, cycling. So let me save this as a work in progress too. Save as. I knew I'd probably do this because whenever I start playing with this stuff, you're always finding and exploring new things. All right, so let's get rid of the synth layer, go back to this and turn this into a pad by itself. Let's go for a lush pad. So instead of the skew this way, go the other way. Right? And let's turn off sync. Let's add our effects. Let's get delay. And let's add another delay. And let's add a reverb. And then clouds is really cool. And turn up our gain. Let's go here. Let's have it loop more the whole thing. It's really, really cool. So let me save this as work in progress 3. Save as save. Let me show you some other patches because it comes with a whole lot of presets. I can turn off the embedded into the patches, and I think it loads faster now, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that I mean, it's a texture pad playground. The Forever Piano. It's playable though. It's not just Patty's stuff. Like, that's all I can do. I will say I'm not a big fan of this browser. I wish that there was a load button. I believe you're supposed to drag like this to like load gracefully. That's the graceful way to do it. By the way, when you download, if you buy this, or if you they've got I think a 90-day demo, fully unlocked. The way to get it to work is to take the folder. I'll show you. Let's see here. I put it sample mask. Where is? Did I put this to traction? Let me see when. Date modified. Anyway, you drag it over the interface to register the library, and then it becomes a little B up here to show you the basics. And then they have some other patches that are loaded just by default into the basic plugin loading. Pretty cool. Now you need these kind of textures. If you need these kind of textures, this is definitely a really interesting place to go for it. I just haven't seen something that takes a single sample, makes it so nicely playable across the whole keyboard. Right? Other parameters inside the synth engine. Notice that this is a kind of dark sound. He has kind of made a new, given it his own name, Synthify, which does kind of a fold back distortion. To add additional higher harmonics to sounds that don't have them. It's pretty cool. So if it's bright, it will get brighter. If it doesn't have any bright, this will add a lot to it. Like, this is the only synth I know that has a Synthify parameter. There's also dirt and distortion. And pressure on the keyboard. Now, if I want this LFO to be controlled by something, you first go over here and you can see the things moving in a little activity, like this is doing a cool motion. So if I click this LFO, I see it now take over the interface for what it is and what it's doing. If I want to use this, I go to the parameter, say like frequency, and then go up here to this little dot, and that's how you connect the two, so that now it's working. So you can have a running list of a ton of parameters. The LFOs, you can just draw it if you want to have your own shape. You click right here to choose other presets. You can click this to reverse it. So let's say we want to make it a pulse. I can go to the LFO and say just do it not bipolar, just single polarity, so that way I can go back to the filter and set it to sit where I want it to sit. And then this only is adding to it instead of adding and taking away from it. I wish I had a way to like modify curvature and stuff like that once you have something. I've sent an email to them with the list of things I'd love to see them add to this. That's one of them I'd like to see. Here it will tell you what is assigned to, but it gets interesting once you get to these things that are able to be separate things. Like I could turn off transpose. Click this parameter. Oh, I've only got one of the sound sources is on. Interesting. So this patch is only using one of the 6 oscillator sources. Anyway, I hope you see the potential. I mean, I also asked if they could add, because they don't have this right now, but it'd be cool if init was also like an init plus that would init, but keep the sample. So right now when you hit init, boom, you're back at ground zero, but I want to keep that sample and turn everything off. Don't know how to do that right now. So I'm learning how this works, because it's new. It's kind of a different way of incorporating and interacting with these. It's fully MPE compatible. As far as I know, I don't have an MPE keyboard here to play with. I think it does aftertouch on a polyphonic basis. I don't have a keyboard that's polyphonic aftertouch, so. But there's a whole lot of really nice, inspiring patches. And playable stuff. It's not just, here's this 5-minute evolving texture pad. Here's another 5-minute texture pad and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, if you're complaining about price, this is somebody that if you read, let's see here, if you go, let's see, he has information about this. Let's see. Here are basics. I haven't even gone through all this stuff here, but if you go, there's a place somewhere that he explains some of the technology that he's studied to get here. Let's see if I go to, I shared some of this with Shane because I thought it was really inspiring. This guy is a deep thinker, and he's happy to share. Oh, can't see. I need to zoom out. Let's see. There we go. Oh, wait. Let's see. Where is this thing I shared? Right here. So here's the underlying technology. Let's see. Close that. Don't do that like that. But if I drag over here. Go to there. We go there. So check this out. If you want to read just a little bit of what's going on. Decomposition uses a machine learning language called non-negative matrix factorizations. Huge body of work around people that have done this. It works on a short time Fourier transform, but there were some things he had to overcome along the way. This kind of technology, the time spent to make an interface that's like this is a huge amount of work and you can click and drag to resize it to whatever size of monitor you have, which is nice. It's all vector based. That's not a $29 plugin that you can buy at it's higher quality than that. And you can tell in the sound. And there's two separate pan outputs, so I believe you can do some output splitting. I have not done that. I don't know for sure. You have different types of noise even. Just really interesting. I love synthesizers that kind of like give you new places to go and explore. Right? So let me show you a few of the patches I've been working on for my library. Here's a thumb kalimba. Oh wait, let's set to normal. So here's a thumb kalimba cauldron. So it's a single kalimba, but because of the parameters inside of Novum, I have it set up so it's doing this repeating, dancing. And if you actually like play sequences, like if you go, it repeats it like a wave sequence, which is really cool. Here's a drum groove. It's actually a drum loop that again, dream state. So these are dreamy, and the volumes aren't stuff. Aquanauts have the best job. This is. And this is a library. I will make it so you have the Novum patches if you don't have Unify, as well as the Unify patches. Some of these I'm getting a little bit carried away and like 2 layers of different things. In some cases 3 layers. Like that's version 1, and then Fluttering Away 2 is even bigger. Right? So when I get like 50, 60 patches, I haven't made a new library just for some synthesizer for a long time. So that should tell you how much I like Novum. And then the work in progresses we did were good starts for. I like that. That's like, ooh. I think for dance music and stuff, things like this where it's a little off, it's really cool. It does all sorts of crazy things like that. I mean, it's a really fun engine. So Novum, thumbs up. There's information in the video description. They do have a way where you can get it for 90 days, license free. And then after 90 days, if you still like it and you're addicted to it, I have no car, price aggressive, so I have a little more play money every month. There you go. Yeah, I'm not driving around very much these days myself. But the website is traction.com/Novum. And there is a free trial, like I said. I believe it's like 90 days free trial. They give you you log in, it's got to register with the website and all that stuff. If you don't do the registration for 90 days free day, it also works as a demo, but it just pops up noise every now and then, which is nice and irritating when you're not expecting it. You get this nice, lush, beautiful pad, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like cat in the room type of stuff. So, yeah, that's where you go for that. So next up, I'm going to show you something rather interesting. This is like I said at the beginning, an effect from ClevGrand. They keep coming up with these things that you don't know you need it till you need it, until you see it, and then you go, oh, I could use that, you know, type of thing. So let's take a drum groove. Oh, let's do something simple. That's a whole crazy thing here. So let's play with this. Let's say 135 beats per minute in Logic. Their new effect is called Phosphate. So we're going to come down here to ClevGrand Phosphate. And this is, they call it a transient fertilizer, which means it adds something to your groove. Let's go over here and see if I can. I'll make this bigger so you can see the interface just to this guy while we're playing with it. Adds noise and an oscillator, like a sub. So if I want to just add a bit of bottom to the kick. And then the noise is based on mono, stereo. I could just add a little extra high-end transient stuff to it. And then the frequency and the width is really interesting because now if you listen, I can have it triggered by the hi-hats of the groove, which is up here. I can even make it really narrow. I can even bring the sub to be more like a. You can put a floor so it only hits on the snare. So it's enhancement to existing drums and percussion. Let's go over here and say load another thing. Let's add a percussion thing to this. Go BPM perk to the world kit. Let's slow this down a little bit. So you can really limit it in really cool ways. I think this is some of the technologies that they developed for their rhythm instrument plugin that they brought out. Here it is as a separate plugin you can put to your own anything. So you can hear the trigger. See. That's so cool. So you can get some really interesting low-end play stuff going on with it. Okay. Here's without it. Just giving it some extra frequency energy. Right? So really, really fun, really cool, great idea, and something that some of us will need for stuff that we're working on, right? Clev Grant, so let's see. Phosphate is clevgrand.com/products/phosphate. Here it is. Oops. $23.99 opening price for introduction. Multiple audio visualization, controls for trigger frequency and width. So it's able to do some really, really fun stuff to drums, percussion, even voice, I would think, all sorts of things. I haven't tried it on other things besides drums and stuff, but I can use an audio input. Yeah, it's kind of a cool effect. I mean, it is able to, it's fertilizer. Fertilizer makes the grass grow better, stronger, greener, all that kind of stuff. So this can take drum grooves and I kind of wish it had like a whole bunch of different types of noise, some that were more simple kind of in tone. I think it is kind of limiting, like Shane is saying, to have it just be its own noise, but that could be either an update or another version in the future. Here's our presets. Just be careful. You can get some pretty dangerous low frequencies playing with this, it looks like. So right? So it's very, very cool, very useful. It enhances what you've got, just like Unify, right? So that is fun. Now, I have some free plugins I want to share with you guys. Audio Modern has a suite of 3 different plugins. Let's see right here. Filter Step, Gate Lab, and PanFlow. They're great and they're free. So what's not to like about that? Let me go over here to Audio Modern. It's audiomodern.com. And if you go to get past their shaky camera footage to products, you can see Filter Step. And when you go down here to the free download, put in your email address and it pops up all the freebies. So you can download all 3 of these. They have a suite of 3 free plugins. So audiomodern.com. Gate Lab is a very fun gator. And you can hit the random button over here. You can turn on the infinity cycle and you could make this a shorter length, like say like 4. And now every time it cycles, it's randomly different. Right? Which is pretty cool. It's hard to see, but there's 16 little circles down here that if you click, I've now made that one my patch. Say I like that one, and I like that one. So I can turn off the cycle, and now I've made 3 patches. And if I want to modify, oh wait, let's see, go up here and turn in. I think it kind of like, it's just saving the state of all 3. No? Huh. I guess I have to turn that off when I would save. Now it won't come off. See, it should stay off now even when I change patches, but it doesn't. So what's up with that? They've got, so Gate Lab does this. Now they have some cool parameters in here like locking, some repeating functions. So that you turn on this and then click this, it will randomly add steps. So it has a lot of things for you, those of you that are fans of just like, do something weird. You know, it can easily, and then you use the lock button if there's certain ones that you like, that you don't want it to change. Now you can hit cycle, it will change everything else, but it won't change the ones that were locked. There's smooth parameter here to make it smoother or really abrupt. You want it to be abrupt. And then preset shapes here, so you can click and so now it's doing like an auto pan, but it's doing it through a gate. So that means you could have things be really abrupt. Right? So if you had a normal snare from another place that you wanted to have pop in, you know, you could do that kind of stuff. It's really, really useful. Really, really cool, especially since it's free. Let's mute that. The other ones in their suite being Audio Modern. Filter Step. I think I've shown this one before. You just click and drag. Right? Now I can click right here to make that a preset. Let's make another preset like this. Click 2. Now I can go back and forth between those, and I could do that for up to 16 steps. There's random dice, so we could say randomize Make that number 3. I don't think there's any presets per se other than these that you make when you're clicking and dragging. Because now I think when you go to, is there a load? Yeah, it shows you the 3 presets here. You can double click to load them. I don't know what happens if you can make multiples on the same step. I think it's just like a buffer of up to 16 for what you're currently working on. I don't know if you can save. Oh, you can save this. You type in a name of the groove and save it. Yeah, I haven't played with that part. Pretty cool for filtering. So let's mute that. The third one is a auto panner. Go here, audio modern pan flow. And it does it through curvature shapes instead of steps, although you could still go over here and add steps. And you have visual over here showing whether it's left or right. Have this to choose for squares. Speed over here if you want to speed it up. Well, let's slow it down. Right? So you can do all sorts of fun things. Save that as a preset. Let's see if I make it to like, save that to 2. And then let's make it even slower. And make that 3. So as you can see, you can save presets that have speed changes, which is cool. And I think in your automated lanes of your DAW, you could be able to have it change presets and automate that. So those 3, and then they have the quick preset loader here. Again, I haven't played with the preset abilities of this very much, but just sonically what it can do is really interesting. So those 3 are free, so check those out. Then I have one more thing to show you. Cameron, Morning Coffee with Cameron. He made me aware of this. This is probably the best free digital delay on the market I have found. It's very, very flexible and cool. Called Delay. You can get it for free. And let me show it to you. It's from sixthsample.com. So if we go over here, we go all types. I haven't put that into a favorites list or anything like that. 6 sample delay. All right, let's mute. Let's see. So I should have everything. Oh, wait, I've got MIDI muted. That's what it is. I hit B for bypass. Duh. I'm sure changing. Okay. There we go. That's what I'm expecting. So you were hearing pan, flow, filter step, and gate lab all together. There you go. That's the all-in-one demo right there. No extra charge. You're welcome. Now let me see. Can you see this in the OBS window still? Yeah. So this is kind of a cool delay. It can do the diffusion change to become reverb. That's pretty cool. It has a built-in ducking. I'm just letting in just a little bit now. Other things it can do, it's not a one-trick pony. That's not its only claim to fame. Under mode, it's got chaos. Let's see, turn off. Let's make it stereo. There's all sorts of different types of distortion. You can say reverse flow. With diffusion. Let's see, where is my wet dry mixer? You have modulation. You have an echo offset if you want the echo to actually be a little bit closer to the transient start. It's nuts. For this to be free, to me, is just nuts. But thank you, you know? Reverse chaos. The distortion. There's tape. Let's do this. Let's get to a normal. That's a little hard to hear what the delay is exactly doing. So let's go. Yeah, that's helpful. Let's see. All this reverse cool. There's high and low cut. One thing that I really like is that if you want, right now it's set up so that the delay echoes don't get filtered with each repeat. But if you click this, you engage it into the filter. It's kind of like our analog versus digital setting inside of Omega Delay. This works a little bit better for the cut, but you hear that, right? Hide this user on this channel. Sorry. Yeah. Naked HD. Bye, dude. Remove. How come we got a bot? I've been reading from other people that have bots. Why are they showing up on these now? It's just... But you hear how it's killing down the filter? It's really, really nice. So, very, very well done delay. It does all sorts of really fun. You can hear the duck right there. See how it goes down, then it fades in. So really, 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 really definitely cool. Also this diffuser. So let's do this. Let's get it to be. All right, Skippy, start playing with all the stuff here. Let's get it back to normal. This diffuser, check this out. You can change the quality of it to be really trashy, and it becomes more like early reflections in nature. Ping pong. Stereo. Right? So you get all sorts of fun stuff going on. So really cool delay for free. So there's 4 new effects to add to Unify. If you wish to play, you have randomized to like you have an A, B. I mean, it's just fun. Cool. Wow. So save that setting. That's a fun one. So any questions? Yeah, we're deleting the bots. I'm taking that as a compliment. You can't. All right. Any questions? I think we're about to wrap up. I don't think I have time to make any patches. Again, Monday night at, we'll probably do it at like, I think last time we did it at 7 p.m. Portland time, which is like 10 o'clock. I'm sorry that's late at night for you guys in Europe. But does this plugin offer a dark interface? I don't think so. I think it has the colors change based on the modes. I don't see anywhere. You could write 6 sample and ask them if they want to make a. Yeah, no. No dark interface. Oh, well. You know, maybe they'll add that to this one you buy. How many effects are enough? That's a discussion for a whole other day. You don't need that many effects, but when somebody does something like this that incorporates some really cool things, and it's a nice working delay, you can't kill it and overdrive it with the feedback. Even at max feedback, it goes just to that. It doesn't like blow up your system. I mean, it's got some really interesting, and you know, everybody does things differently. So, I mean, I have so many delays, it's not even funny at this point. If I went to effect type to delays, yeah, there's just a few types of delay, you know, come on. But you need different ones for different purposes. I mean, crystallizer is a whole different vibe. I love Crystallizer by Soundtoys. This is one of the, they need to update their effects to be resizable and stuff like that, but you know, like kind of cool stuff. More. Sweet. Here we go. Let's see, mix. I mean, that's something that other effects can't do. So when you come across effects like that that do things that are cool, yeah, you don't have to have it. I mean, it all depends on what you're trying to do with your music, your productions, all that kind of stuff. So Dave Klopp half his team should join PlugInGuru LiveStream to relax. Yeah, we try to be relaxed around here as best we can. I mean, that's something I'm working on all the time. Playing little music box sounds. Helps. So let's do our shout outs for the day. Yeah. Crystallizer has so many places to go. I should do tutorials on just plugins, like one at a time, just call it up and play it for a minute. Well, thank you. Are we working on a funk-focused library? I'm working on another phrase-based library that should come out in July. And then we have another one coming out probably in September. But this one's different. It's more synthy and variations on grooves. It's great. It's really, really, really cool. So that'll be coming out soon. Look at all the shout outs. Raining in Finland. Oh my gosh. Netherlands. Yeah. Wow. Boy, quite a few guys from the Netherlands. I mean, my gosh. Like here, I want to have fun for a minute. So let's go like this. I'm going to sequence. Let's see if I quantize. Let's do this one more time. So. Okay, I'm going to take him back. I'm going to put something into Novum. See if this works. So go. I need to zoom in. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Finally. Okay, so let's bounce this out. PCM 441's fine. This is a music breath box sequence to the desktop. Okay. And then we can go over here. We want to go to, let's just do this. Let's init. I know I'm supposed to end my live stream right now, but I want to have more fun for a minute. So this is under Novum. Let's shoot this in and then granularize a sequence. I wanted to experiment with this. So the interesting thing about this also is if you say init and then you drag the sound in, you're dragging it in Right? But if you go down here and you call up an existing patch, and then you drag in, you're dragging it in to this existing patch, which is really interesting because there could be all these different, every one of these is a different template for how to import samples. And so you can find the ones that you really like, call up Night Train, and then drag your sample in, it'll decompose it. I mean, it's really, really stunning how it works. And then go to the timbres. I mean, you can make just some really interesting stuff with this plugin. So, very exciting. Hope this was informative and fun for you guys. Shout outs from Poland. Good to see you, Les. Baltimore. Frankenmeiser. Very fun. Oh, Looper Raider. Cool. Yeah. Peace, love, and health to everyone. Zian said it very well. Hit the like button if you want. Thank you for joining us for this live stream. More of you guys showed up today than I expected. I thought for summertime and everything there'd be like a fraction of this, but over 600 of you guys have shown up for a moment or two. Some of you have stuck through the whole thing. That's great. God's wind chime. Ooh, I like that. Uh-oh. I just closed the chat. Let's see, live streaming. Go back here. Yeah, I think I'll call it Heavenly Wind Chime. Save here. Wind chimes in heaven. And it's not a square. We'll save as. So I'm just going to make a whole bunch of different patches. It'll be, I'll probably release this in July. For those of you that are curious about the Vital Library, I'm trying to get a hold of Saif. He lives in Baghdad, and I don't think things are good there right now. So what do you do on the keyboard now? Hi, Gert. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. All right. So that's what's fun with this plugin is you can have samples, make little phrases. I took just this, and now I can go to any of these patches. Oh, am I loading into a new layer or something? Then drag in your samples, your phrases, whatever you've got to work with. And every one of them is going to treat that sample differently. Isn't that cool? You know, you can go to drag this sample in. Different ways with every patch. So, I mean, this is kind of how synthesizers work, is that every patch is a template. I'm going to do a video at some point just talking about how to quickly change things in synthesizers, because just changing the oscillators, what its sound what the oscillator is, gives you all sorts of different results depending on what synth you're dealing with. So anyway, that was fun. That's fun. Fun to play with something new that's like really like got the little hair on the back of your head going, because it's just such a cool sound. You know, I've always wanted these kind of, you know, these kind of sounds are really cool for textures. You can gate them and do all sorts of things to put them into a groove or a pad. Oh, hey, I found my first CPU heavy one. So just turn, if it's CPU heavy for you, bring down density. That's the parameter that controls how thick it is. And as you can see, you can kill things if you have it way up there. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining. Oh, Obscurium. Yeah, I've seen Obscurium. Is it the multi-frequency separation though? I haven't played with, let me see. Sugar Bytes is a great, I love their products. Synthesis with generative pitch. Oh, Lordy. Feeds on your input of scales and chords to produce futuristic soundscapes and vivid light. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So we were just shared that Obscurium is similar. It's not the same. I'm not sure. I don't have this, so I can't show it to you right now. Believe it or not, there's plugins I don't have. Can host and control your VST2 plugins. Interesting. Yeah, it's not granular synthesis. It has a analog super saw FM synthesis. Maybe it has granular too, I don't know, but it's not the same in that the whole purpose of Novum is to take a sample and split it into components that you can control and play with. That's unique. I haven't seen that done with granular before, and opens up all sorts of interesting doors. It's confusing to me that these 6 different slices, it's not frequency based. It's not like this is low, mid, low, you know, like the mid, and this is just like if you turn these off and you listen to just one of these slivers, it's getting there. You know, it's similar frequencies. You can see the colors for the different ones that are there. That's how it represents them in the interface, but it's not frequency based. I think it'd be cool if this was also able to be frequency based, so you could have just lines of frequencies that you could do, take the low frequencies and bring them up. Also, you know, still, it's very fascinating. You can get lost and spend an awful lot of time in here playing. So for those of you that dive in, enjoy. Remember, it's a free demo for 90 days. So you can play with it for 90 days for free without it popping up and saying, hey, this is a demo, you know, that type of stuff if you want to try it out. So highly recommend it. Okay, well, thanks for joining. It's been a nice live stream. And I'll see you guys if you want to join me Monday night. And we'll keep making patches for Patchmaster. Okay, so bless you all. Oh, I've got this. Let me zoom so we got Unify shown in proper resolution to itself. There. Yeah, so what I was doing, I'd made that sample right here. See, that's this phrase. It's just a wave file. Just make a sequence performing something and then plug it into Novum and see what you get. Play a chord, put it into Novum, see what you get. You know, I can take this, drag over here, and Skew it more towards attacks. Go to synths. See the filters up. You never know what you're going to get because this is all based on it being set up a certain way. Fascinating. Really, really cool. So, all right. I'm going to just zone out here for the 5 hours. All right. Bless you all. Have a great week. Stay cool out there if it's warm. And we'll see you next week or on Monday. Okay? And don't forget, there's a sale. 35% summer sale at PlugInGuru.com. Patchmaster for Pro-1 is available on sale. Introductory price until July 1st. And that's when the sale will end on my site too. So thank you all. See you next week or Monday.